two restrooms, one on here and one on the other side. We got several C-level executive offices, our business analysts. I think many of you guys met Pat. She's our business analyst. She's in the office there. We have Steve Peterson, our chief of compliance, right here. Our GM, Pat Mickelson. We're gonna go in here for a little bit. Big diner.
You gotta know.
Their total profit.
We had one day, it's like, I'm doing this thing with the whole break room, and it's gonna have free Wi-Fi.
Oh, free
Wi-Fi.
So we have the mixed diner. Well, if you guys go hang out.
That's cool. Make diner. Yeah.
What was the Wi-Fi password?
Do you have a Wi-Fi password here, Peter, that we can use or no?
You want to go on live?
We got Sharp. Priceless.
It doesn't have to be big. College.
So it's yeah. If you anyways need Wi-Fi here, it's Shark Attack with capital S and a capital A. So Shark Attack, capital S, capital A. So you guys need the Wi-Fi here. But yeah, so as you're seeing, we're what's really cool. I like that this space is like the natural lighting and everything. It's really cool. We're growing fast. We just hired, like a lot of you guys met, a lot of our tech advisors team.
The one in the blue.
Yeah, so they're running blue polos. So we have them all there. So Nolan Gornies, who's basically managing that team. So that's going to be a resource for everyone. So no matter both for the students and for the affiliates, they have questions. We're basically building what's called a whole internal training system, so that all of our affiliates can promote and can obviously generate sales. And if they want to build team and trainings and stuff like that, they can. Obviously, that'll help you make more money if you do that, no doubt about it. But if they don't, we have some big affiliates, they just want to promote, and that's it. They just want to promote, make sales, and call it a day. You can't blame them. So we're building a whole infrastructure to be able to support all of those people. So all of their affiliates, all of their customers, all their students. So Nolan will be expanding that. We'll probably have more people here eventually, and then soon, Pat's always working. But Pat, what are you working on, man?
Getting their emails and all that set up for we're ready to go tomorrow.
Got it. Probably TECademics. So up until this weekend, we were operating under Internet Marketing College, right? So now that we're TECademics, now we're this is kind of the transition.
Support at TECademics.
Yeah, everything's
at TECademics.
transitioning to TECademics. And last week for people to join the fam, and then post this next week, we'll be rolling out TECademics and going from there, rolling out the Matching with Affiliate program, getting everyone kind of officially in the system and the compensation plan and all that type of stuff, and then start running commissions and setting up your e-wallets, like online counselor and commissions and all that stuff. So
Just money rolling.
Changing the page on the 15th, 16th to change the page.
something like that. Yeah, I believe right now that's what it says to roll it out next
15, 16.
There's all the new page back there.
Yeah.
And all the
So-
videos and all that stuff in there.
So TECademics is going to have a website now where we can
Correct.
all
It'll be
of
like
the
a
school and
correct.
the
There'll
school
be
will offer,
TECademics and there'll be Matching Millions, right? So TECademics is all about the education,
Right.
of the company, the education, right?
nothing about the opportunity in essence on that page.
Correct. Maybe link to it if
Perfect.
you want to learn more.
So we
that'll
can
go
tell
over to
people it's
Matching
a real
Millions.
college. Here's their website. Check that out, and then get back to me.
Yeah,
Do
so
that
there'll
as
be
well.
exactly, and then there'll be the different front end funnels, like
So
a
you
lot
got
of training.
different links, kind of go through the
Yeah, and then like a lot of the training that we did this weekend will be converted into like these little mini courses that you can give away. Say, hey,
Free
opt in,
gift.
essentially, become a free member, right?
Give them a little free course.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So you'll be able to leverage that.
Okay.
Plus everything you guys take to the new.
Yeah, so we'll create little kind of front end offers in a
A
sense.
couple weeks away for that.
Yeah.
So we ready?
What's up, dude? What's up, man? Good to see you.
All
All right, you guys ready to do this?
Yes.
1 minute video. Yeah.
You're welcome to Facebook Live. I asked somebody to do it inside the Facebook Live
Yeah,
group,
you did.
as we've had some people already left ask if we would do it, and I said I wouldn't, but I'd be happy to have somebody do it. You guys know Peter Sorensen, your VP of Sales. I call him Kid Crush a lot because he's amazing at what he does, and I can tell you, I've been doing this for about almost 20 years, 18 years to be exact, and I've had the ability to work with some really amazing people. Peter's among some of the best people I've ever worked with. The kid is absolutely gifted. I call him a kid, but he's not. He's absolutely gifted when it comes
just
to
look like one.
what he does. Yeah. You know, so I would tell you, get his business card before you go. If you ever have a qualified lead, and I want to say qualified, so you're not just wasting time, his time, your time, prospect's time, but Peter has a gift when it comes to helping people believe in themselves, understand that they deserve better. And I'll tell you, one of his other gifts, besides just being one of the most likable people you ever meet, and sincere and loving, full of heart, he's a guy that knows how to show people how to find money. And I've been impressed with him the moment I had the chance to meet him, and I'm just really grateful we're on the same team.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man, you've earned it. So our IT kind of flies out here to hang with us. You'll see where they work normally. You see Peter do a lot of videos. This is Peter's niche in the world here. We're our general manager, Pat Mickelson. And by the way, you guys give this man a round of applause because it ran smooth.
I saw him back in May. He was on the stage. He was talking.
Yeah, the reason
Met him.
we run so smooth is a combination of the chairman, Jim Piccolo, and Pat Mickelson. Pat is an absolute expert. He's put on 26 colleges up to this point. That's right, 26?
Somewhere in that neighborhood.
And so when you see, as you grow it, you know, one of the things I love about Pick is Pick says, look, if you've never been in an environment where you sell an education, where it's only an event or like a conference, it's hard to do the same conference over and over and over again. You're not going to get Andy Andrews to come speak on a Monday, come back a week later to speak on another Monday, come back a week later to speak on another Monday. But the beauty of the college is we can run colleges simultaneously. And one of Mick's many gifts is he knows how to do the pedal break. We've got more students than we plan for. Then he just puts the pedal to the metal a little bit more, adds more classrooms. We're set to run 17 classrooms simultaneously. So the reality is, start selling. We can do 3,450 students. Mick has already put together the plan for 17 simultaneous classrooms at the location that you guys were at all weekend. So we can do.
Do we have an age for this? Do we have the minimum age requirement?
18.
Okay.
So as we continue to grow, and as Peter and I add to our sales force, our sales team will actually be sitting right here. That way Peter can hear them and monitor them. My office back here, that way I can monitor them and hear them. We added, or I should say Mick and Jim Piccolo added these glass doors very specifically so we could actually be part of it. For those of you who are looking behind these glass doors, that's actually Mick's office. That was my first office, and then we quickly outgrew it. So if you've seen Peter or myself do videos, most of them were done before maybe a month ago, right here in the office there.
Does the weather ever get cool enough where you can actually open those doors for you guys?
Yes, but not this time of year.
No.
All right, so I've got one request, and there's gonna be a zero tolerance on this. I don't want anybody to walk past these blue doors. We've actually, because of your hard work and your great job in your recruiting, inviting, bringing people to the table, we actually outgrew our conference table. And so Jim and Mick ordered a new table about a month and a half ago that was custom made. It was just delivered this morning. The chairman just left a little while ago, and so they just put it in. So if you guys just peek in. I didn't expect you to be out of bed, man.
Dude, I'm well rested, ready to rock and roll.
Well done.
What's up, everyone?
Great.
So I'm just jumping in on the tour.
All right.
Cool.
I haven't seen this desk either for the first time.
Don't touch it. Pick called me and said, "Don't touch it." So if I have everybody's agreement that you're just peek in, don't go past.
Okay.
And I don't want to be the one who explains to the chairman why we broke those
All right. Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
An office tour right here.
You gotta get in there.
Yes.
So this is the sales office right here. This is my office right here.
Oh, nice.
And I'll let everybody know that this is, when you heard us talk about Jim Piccolo being OCD,
Yes.
so OCD that we call him CDO,
I love that.
he actually called me and said, let everybody know that it's a working environment. So we've been prepping for the last few weeks for the live event. And so normally you could eat off the floor in here. and everything's meticulous. You do not leave your office. You don't leave your office undone before you leave for the day. Because at any point, Chris is walking through a video. We have guests. We have people that are always dropping in, and Peter will tell you, you leave it like it's a museum.
Somebody's asking for the actual address here, so can you just...
16445 North 91st Street, Suite 101. Look for the orange BMW. So as you guys come down here, you can kind of just peek in and look.
Okay.
You're gonna notice our big television set right here. But what you're gonna really notice, above the TV set, we actually have a camera. Right? And so up until about a month ago, our chief operating officer, Daniel Silver, was world schooling his children. And they literally were going to Venice, Italy, and they were in Madrid, and they were in Portugal, and they were somewhere else. This is long before Jim called and said, hey, I got something. That was about an hour-and-a-half conversation for him to agree to come aboard, because he was literally world schooling his kids. He actually came here from Wales. When he finally came back to the States, his family's in Florida, where they actually left from a few years ago. Guys, why don't you slide on in so everybody can see and kind of move around. But not just Daniel, but also our Chief Technology Officer, John Knoll. And John has been with the chairman for many, many years as well. He was actually stationed out in Thailand, where he was living and working, because the beauty of being a CTO is you can do that from anywhere. But one of Jim's caveats is like, look, if you're going to be part of this, we really want you here at the hub. Jim believes that everybody, if you're part of the team, you're actually in the office, at the epicenter. And though we do have some contract employees that work for our CTO that aren't office here, every full-time employee actually office here. There's 18 of us right now at this point, with the exception of our photography guy. You guys met Rob with the tattoo and the ears, completely gifted, one of the most talented, gifted photographers I've ever seen. Him and Sam Servideo, our video guy. Those are the only two that are not yet hubbed in here, but believe me, they'll be here soon enough. But it was going back, and notice there's a camera. We've got actually our computer behind Miles over here, where all this is wired in. So as we sit at the table, we could literally look, and Chris is in Roseville every other weekend with his kids. Maybe doesn't want to fly back for our Monday morning meeting. We get together as the C-levels and our department heads every Monday at 9 a.m. for big team. Peter, myself, all of us, you'll notice that the smaller table over here in my office was the table that we had here until this arrived today. And I'm actually show you the growth in our short 90-day window that I've been part of the company. I'm gonna show you how the growth was, because that table, that conference room, used to be over here, which is now our creative and CTO areas. Do you guys want to go ahead and move around, kind of stop at that wooden door? I'll make my way over there, but I'll be right back here. You can go. Come around. And so someone asked about the weather. We only let people come to Arizona for our events during the summertime. Because if they knew how beautiful this place was during the wintertime, isn't that right, Dr. J? During the wintertime, this is one of the most magical places on the planet. So I'm just grateful that when it gets nice out, my office has the biggest window on the place. And believe me when I tell you, I would have it open. Peter, do you want to take maybe the first half?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll break right here.
So as you can see here, this is our whole tech advisors area. You got their names on there. It's our whole desk area. So we got 5 tech advisors right now, and we'll continue to expand. But again, these people are here to support you. They're here to support you, your students, your affiliate team members. As they have questions, they have challenges, they can be able to call in. Right now, we are right here with them Monday through Friday. I believe we're going to be going from as early as like 7 a.m. if not 8, and then going all the way to like 7 p.m. So we'll be staggering them. So some people will come a little early in the morning, some people will finish a little later, kind of a thing. So we'll have a lot of support for you guys. And then eventually, our goal is to have 24 hours. And have staggered shifts or whatever throughout the day and night. Obviously, we're building an international business, so already, even during pre-launch, we have members, we have fan members all over the world, in every continent except Antarctica, right? This is a running joke right now, but literally every continent pretty much on the planet, right? So, that being said, we're gonna have the people All of our tech advisors are going to have the ability to do, like, for instance, Skype International video conference calls, so they'll be able to connect with our members, our students, and our affiliates via video face chat. So we really want to connect, right? We're a technology company, so we want to leverage technology, if at all possible, be able to have a face conversation with them. We'll assist them, we'll help them. If someone's just getting started and they have questions, our tech advisors can educate them a little bit more on what we do and the opportunity and the other education. So they're not necessarily there to sell your people per se, but I definitely believe in selling without selling, which is really just serving, educating them, letting them know what's possible, letting them know. Because how many guys have realized a lot of times that some people just don't know what they don't know. They get a little bit of information, or they join the State of Tech when we launch our entrepreneurial club, and they might not even know about the live college. They might have just, hey, I saw this looks kind of cool, let me come check it out, let me try it out. So the tech advisors are here to assist all of you. And obviously, along with myself and Michael Hamburger, to be able to support you guys. If you have, qualified, like he mentioned before, qualified prospects, people that you talk to, they're interested, maybe they have some questions, they're on the fence, but they have a sincere level of interest, they have maybe the ability to have the funds, or maybe they're not sure, but if they have a serious interest, get a hold of myself. I'll make sure I brought some business cards with me, so I'll make sure if you guys don't already have my contact information, I can give you my cards. Got all my office phone, I even have my cell phone. Please respect that. Text works. If I don't get back to you right away, I'll do my best to get back to you guys as soon as I can. But the reality is, we're here to support you. So let's keep it moving this way.
Peter, as far as the physical campuses, when do you expect them? By what year?
Our goal is to have our first one next year.
Next year.
Yeah. So another restroom, kind of explains itself, right? So a lot of people kind of come through here till about this point, so I can share a little bit more. This is an important office right here. I'll just kind of stay right here. So we have, I don't know if you guys have had the opportunity to meet Jack over the weekend, but Jack is our Chief Learning Officer.
Oh.
And,
He's a funny guy. He's a funny
Yeah. He's awesome. So he worked with a company, little education company called the University of Phoenix for about 20 years. And he was a core, part of the core process for that, for their growth. He helped develop their curriculum, helped work with a whole team of curriculum developers, PhDs, helped design curriculum for the company, right? And so that's exactly what he's doing for us. He's working with our subject matter experts, the Chris Records of the world, or maybe the Chris Records best students that are out there doing what they're doing every single day in all the different aspects, whether it's Facebook advertising, SEO, e-commerce, Shopify, right, Amazon, social networking and marketing, or maybe they're doing YouTube advertising. So all the different aspects that we're gonna have classes at our college. Jack and his whole team, and another person, Susan Gardner, PhD, works with a whole team of curriculum developers with our subject matter experts. So they go back and forth. The subject matter expert basically brain dumps on them, and then they do what they do to say, okay, out of all that 10 minutes, that 30-second piece, we're going to use that. And that 30-second piece needs to go here. In a day class, let's say, okay, there needs to be a built foundation here, so this information needs to be shared first, and then this information, and this information. So they work with a subject matter expert who's maybe not a teacher, right? Or they're not necessarily, they don't understand maybe the process and science of learning. These guys do. So they extract all that information and put it in a structured outline to create the class. Right? And so at the college, the live college studies, on a week basis, week at a time, we're going to start, we'll have, let's say, 100 level type classes, 200 level, 300 level, 400 level, right? So a 100 level class, very basic foundational class, that could be a day class. Some classes might even be a half day, might be only 3 or 4 hours, because it's just very foundational, right? Maybe just vocabulary of internet marketing can be a class. Because if you're brand new and don't know anything, that's important to know, right? And then maybe a 400 level class, we might have a 400 level class that's a 2-day class even, right? That it's much more, you need a couple of days to really get that aspect, that niche. So they work, bottom line, with their subject matter experts designing the curriculum, and as we launch, we do our first college week in December, with probably about 20 or so classes, with the goal literally quarter to quarter. What's really cool about them is they can literally whip out a class inside of like 30 to 60 days, but the next college we can have several new classes ready to go. So their whole team is constantly working with their subject matter experts. And if you guys know of anyone that wants to apply, you think that that it could be a great instructor on a particular topic, they're not a guru, but they have day in and day out. They have the experience, they have the expertise. Maybe they have a good story to them as well. We have a whole process that they want to apply as well to go through Jack and kind of funnel in on that level. So I'll let some of the guys that come through kind of continue things along.
This college is great for real estate agents, for all their leads.
Yeah,
brokers,
absolutely.
Salesmen.
Like we talked about a lot of the weekend, there's principles. You know, principles can help anyone, right? And then so the class will be, you know, principles, techniques, strategies, you know, built on a foundation, and then you know, you got your foundational stuff, and then you have your specific skill stuff. Like if you're going to do SEO, you need to learn exactly how, you know, how do you do SEO? How do you rank your videos? How do you rank your sites on the first page of Google? There's very specific things you need to know about that. But then there's the higher level. Once you know that, then okay, how do you want to use that? So we'll have classes of, okay, you're going to use SEO to become an SEO agency to sell services to small business owners. Or you're going to use that skill set of SEO to go do SEO for a company. So you're going to become an employee, right? And that's cool. And you get a good job. Or you're going to use SEO in, let's say, affiliate marketing, and you're going to sell affiliate products by leveraging, you know, SEO. Does this make sense?
Yes.
So we'll have the different curriculum pathways, the different aspects of the classes, and then, okay, how do you apply that information? Not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, so let's help these people get good paying jobs. Or they want to be an entrepreneur and they decide, okay, do I want to be like a big business owner, build an agency, something like that, or do I just want to be, you know, an independent kind of entrepreneur, live a laptop lifestyle, crush out some affiliate promotions, travel the world? There's total different models. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, all right, that being said, most of you guys are here. This is, you notice the black curtains? Notice it's a little, like, you know, they're a little cooler. Yeah, that's a good point. A little quiet. This is a quiet area. So the reason that is that's because we have our chief technology officer, right? Chief technology, the guy who builds the registration system, the guy that builds, you know, the comp plan, the guy who builds all this stuff, our technology, John Knowles, been working with Jim for I don't know how many years now. He's here, and we have our chief, basically designer, Rob, here. So they have this kind of quiet space they're in their world, right? Like imagine a programmer's like, it's a whole nother world, right? Same thing with design, you know? So we kind of block this off on a day-to-day basis. It's kind of blocked off. You know, people come and go through here, but we respect them because like they have to kind of be in their world. And I actually asked Rob when I first got to know him, our designer, because he was in the office before we got our business analyst in, and he never had the light on. And I was like, what's this about? I'm curious, why do you not have the light on? He's like, it helps me focus, concentrate, my brain is more creative, etc. And I'm sure there's a lot of science behind that probably. Yeah. Miles is shaking his hand. So that being said, so that's this area. This office over here is our COO, Daniel Silver. So he's our Chief Operations Officer. Daniel has worked with, you know, Fortune 100, Fortune 1000 companies. I first met Daniel almost a decade ago in the real estate investment school. His wife responded to a Craigslist ad that Chris posted. Okay, he was working Fortune, I came on big company, you know, CEO type stuff, and his wife was looking to make money, and she had an interest in real estate, and so she responded to this ad, met Chris, came down to a meeting. Fast forward, they ended up becoming, you know, leaders in the company as affiliates, part time, and then had the opportunity to move to the East Coast, started working with Chris and that company at the time, expanding the education on the East Coast of North Carolina, Virginia, and then made an introduction. Chris introduced Daniel to Jim, and ever since that time, Daniel's been working with Jim at different businesses, running companies, very, very successful. Literally, you know, made some huge sacrifices even to be here in time, left his family. His family's been in Florida for the summer. They over the last year, him and his wife and their kids have been traveling throughout Europe and basically raising their kids through, you know, world travel. I think it's really cool. Anyway, so he's helping to run the operations of our company. He is the spreadsheet master. Anything that has involved numbers and spreadsheets and running financials and cash flow models and all the different stuff. And can we pay these Match of Millions bonuses and all this stuff? Yes. You know, and he runs the numbers. I mean, so everything is very well thought out, if you can imagine. So that's Daniel's office. We'll keep the tour moving here. So we've got another office here. That's our in-house accountant. So running the books, you know, keeping track of every dollar and cent. We have another office here, so we're going to be for our chief marketing officer, and we have Jim's office. We're not going to go in there. I'm not going to touch his office.
Michael did it. We didn't do it.
Oh, that's, yeah. Michael can do that. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, so Chris.
This is so awesome.
Chris works mostly from home. He'll come to the office. About a third of his time will be in the office. You know, high level stuff. So we have our big team every meeting. So C-level executives, we meet there on a weekly basis. Kind of go over the week. Here's what we need to do. Here's the goals. Here's the major objectives and tasks. We work with something called Smart Sheets, which is a super detailed, high level process. Kind of take Excel spreadsheets on steroids that Daniel built. That has, let's say for an event, right? We're working for the event, so there's all of these major items. So like graphics and branding, we have AV, we have registration, and then it breaks down all these things. And then we assign tasks, and then how long it took you to complete your task. How much time you spent on that? Are you 40% done on that task? Are you 80%? Are you 100%? Yeah, so it's very, very detailed. So to answer that question with Chris spends about a third of his time he'll come here, major meetings, decisions, and then the other 2/3 of the time he's either out at his house, doing social media, you know, building the brand of the company, building his brand, building following, obviously leading by example, and then we have our core team here that's, you know, here basically Monday through Friday, you know, all day.
Wow.
Any questions, excitements? I'm curious to hear your guys' feedback, especially as fan members and from the weekend.
I didn't see Miles. Excited.
Very excited.
Oh yeah, we're already pretty much maxing this office out. So the plan is by our first call is we're already looking at other spaces to expand. And that being said, yeah.
When is the impact study course going to be available?
That's going to be available here pretty quickly, probably within the next couple of weeks, I would say. Depending upon how Chris is going to roll it out, he's already got a lot of it done, and I know he's going to add to it. So it's a matter of if we roll it out, just roll it out, you know, phase 1, and then just continue to add to it. Or do we wait? My guess is to probably just roll it out and then continue to even add maybe more content to it. He's already done pretty much all of it, a lot of it. But at the same time, we want to build massive value for all of our products and education. So, yeah. So hopefully that helps, but pretty quickly. Yeah.
Well, before the month ends.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
You get the 100 level and the 2,000 level, and it's at the 100 level for 1 year. What happens after that?
So it's just be $100 a month. So you can buy it. You can either.
So the courses themselves go away?
No, it's so the tech. For the tech. The tech is going to be an online forum. So we're going to be building out our own custom, basically, online forum, and for everyone to be able to connect with each other and to be able to network from all over the world.
So it's the community.
It's the community, and then we're going to do weekly training. So as different faculty members from the college as well as other students having success, they'll be able to do weekly training, be able to give back and give value, at the same time give exposure too. So as people having success and access to our faculty, and there will be a whole forum section, so kind of visualize different chats and things like that within different topics. So it's the introduction for, say, Facebook, Shopify, e-commerce, SEO. So if someone's interested in one of those topics, they can go to that forum and they can network with other people that are also interested in the topic that are doing that. So we'll collaborate and ask questions. Exactly. So that's going to be our online community of all our entrepreneurs from all over the world. So that's the foundation. We want to build that to tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, etc. And then from that segues into our impact course, learn a little bit more, a little bit higher level, structured education from Chris, and all the different ways to make money. And then the master's tuition is, okay, let's really begin to master that education and take you down the pathway with live instruction, hands-on, education inside of this college format over the next year or 2 years, right? Year to take classes, full second year to repeat those classes. So it's just,
Because it's chaos right now. You're getting stuff from Chris's Facebook, Justin and D have
so we want to create a centralized hub. And people will still do their own things, and so don't think of it as chaos so much. But at the same time, I get where you're coming from. But they'll create that that structured process and kind of resource where people will go to on a daily, weekly basis. to collaborate, to network, to learn, and then we'll have the impact that'll be like an online course, like something you're familiar with, and then we'll have the obviously call, which will be live instruction, and then as we do our first set of classes, those will get recorded, will be built and uploaded into like a virtual classroom, video classroom, where you'll see the instructor, you'll see the slides, you'll be able to download a workbook, so you can go through the information as well, and then we'll expand on that. Like Jim said, the vision is eventually be able to then have our own place here next year, be able to have our own building to where we can do classes even more often and then live stream them. So that'll allow us to have students from all over the world and really break down the barriers of, well, I can't travel or whatever, and they can actually feel like they're in the class. So we'll start with the recordings, very, very structured recordings of the live classes inside the video classroom, and then we'll next level version of that will be actual live stream of the classes, so they can be, 9 a.m. I'm in my Facebook Ads 101 class, and I'm in the UK, you know, and I can ask questions, and then be a question roll, and okay, now there's a break for questions. Hey, I see John's got a good question from the UK. Da 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 da.
Will this event be accredited by some local college, or is that a plan?
Well, there's plans to. So in the accreditation process, everything takes time. We don't want to go towards a major full accreditation because there's a lot of red tape, and if anytime you go to that route, we couldn't do what we wanted to do when it comes to the type of education, the speed of implementation of that education. Any type you go towards like a traditional full-blown accreditation, Title IX funding, all that, it's not the model.
Okay.
That being said, there are other forms of accreditation that is kind of like a midway, if you will. And Jim was the only one in history that got that with the real estate school. He did actually get what's called an ACE credit recommendation, where people can get continuing education credits, college, transfer to any major university.
Wow.
And when he got that, I mean, just sales of the company just went through the roof.
Are we going to aim for that as well? Okay.
Employers are gonna know.
We're setting up everything towards that. So all the pre-testing, post-testing, all the processes and procedures are all built towards that. We're doing everything so that a year from now, 18 months from now, because they need metrics, right? So they need, 12 to 18 months of metrics to then say, okay, analyze you, go to your stuff, see all your student data, see your pre-test, your post-test, your attendance records, your score records, all that stuff. Say, okay, you guys are legit. We're going to give you our credit recommendation.
It's called credit recommendation, so they can get some sort of a credit from.
Yeah, so they get like a continuing education credits and transfer those credits towards college. So they take all of the different hours and then get a credit, 2 credits, 3 credits, etc. to transfer. So it's like, from a sales perspective, it's social proof. You know, this is a major institution that's been around, say, 40, 50 years, and they're giving validity to our education process. But at the same time, it's not your traditional, fully credited government loans type of scenario.
So the virtual guidance counselor or whatever, is that in working shape? Is it programmed in and ready to go?
Well, that's what we're working on. I mean, that's going to take a little time, but that's already like fully called. So anytime you create a process or software, so you go through a process, you outline, and then a full scope document. We're already at that phase. We already have like a full scope, detailed document to begin the initial kind of programming, pulling in data, building all that out, etc. Actually, Jim showed me some of the other day when I was in the office, and he's like, I haven't shared it anyway. It was pretty cool.
And you have to be 18.
Yeah. Legal age for anything, you have to be 18.
Will there be continuous enrollment? Will it be just a few times a year? Like, how, since it's online, is it just continuous jump in at any time and do a school?
Yeah,
Like
so we'll start with the weekly, minimum at a quarter. So right now, the plan is first one December 2017. We'll start with a minimum of 4 times per year, of like a week at a time. As far as the live here. We'll scale up, so as demand scales up. So what happened in the previous company is they scaled up to 6 times a year. So went from 4 to 6, it went from every quarter to every other month. And then the goal is once we have our first actual building, that'll help us scale up faster, because then we can actually, it's more so a schedule of, we could have potentially stuff every month, because we can bring in different instructors, they do the class. It's less about even having to be here, because we're then streaming at that point. So we'll start with every quarter, probably scale up every other month, and then go from there as we actually get our first properties per se, so we can have the logistic ability to do more and more often, and then record those, stream them as well. So we'll start with the recordings. We'll start with live attendance plus recordings.
People can join at any point in time. Let's say it's every quarter.
Yeah, swing. Yeah, back this way. Yeah. Oregon, been full.
So let's say it's every quarter for now.
Right.
So if someone signs up in February, they can start in March if that's the next one.
Yeah, so what'll happen is they buy this, let's say they just for the $10,000 master's tuition for the live college. Let's say they buy it February. Let's say there's a college in the end of March, for instance. So their tuition essentially will start at that first college. There'll be an exception to the situation to where let's say there's a live let's say December 5th, right? Our first live college. And let's say someone buys master's December 1st, and for whatever reason they can't go to that college, we'll start their clock in a sense, their 1 year to redeem their credit hours at the next college. So there'll be a window if you sign up, like if someone signs up right before the college, and if they can't make it to that one, then they can start at the next one. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So then they'll have that full year and all the colleges that are in that time frame to be able to take those classes, and then they'll have another second year to be able to repeat those classes live in person, and then they'll also be able to watch them all online.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Be able to re-attend them, watch them, go through them again. And that's what I would do even years ago. Technology's way more advanced than then, but even a decade ago, I'd take like wholesaling, how to buy and sell houses from wholesaling. I'd take a wholesaling class, and then I'd go back to it and I'd walk through it again. I'd read some of the workbook, or how did that work? How did the A to B transaction, the C to D transaction work, and all these different things in real estate. So that way our students will be able to watch the education both online and obviously be able to attend, in person, and they can go with a partner and stuff like that. Yeah.
Will you have something like a prospectus where it gives you the syllabus and the curricula that will be available for people outside the college? So
Yeah. So as we get closer, we'll start rolling out. Okay, here's the classes they want to start with. Here are some of the instructors. So here's kind of a course curriculum, if you will. So some high level details, obviously. So from a prospect perspective and marketing material, if you will, we have kind of like a course catalog, and that was very effective. That physical, we had that years ago, and the physical course catalog was awesome because it was just a great material where you could meet up with someone or share that with someone and say, hey, here it is, and they could go through and they can read.
They could see that their interests were in there.
Yeah. So we'll be developing marketing materials like that, as well as obviously as we get closer to actually registering for classes, probably 30 days out before the first college, you'll be able to go in and start registering classes. For all of our FAM members, you're getting grandfathered into the FAM tuition, the master's tuition. Master's tuition is good for 2 people, so you'll be able to add a tuition partner if you wanted, one time only. So it'd be, if you add a tuition partner, make sure you know who you want to add, because you can't change it. You're gonna be like, oh, you're my tuition partner for one college, then I'm gonna be my tuition partner for another college.
You're the same person.
Yeah. So, but some people would come this way. Some people that want to, like, I didn't really have a partner, but if you wanted to add one, there's strategies to help consume the credit hours of education. So some people might add a tuition partner just to say, oh, hey, I'm going to take these set of classes. You can take, you're interested a different interest level, but next year I might be interested in SEO and stuff. Right now I'm interested in Facebook ads and e-commerce, but down the line I might want to learn SEO. So someone that like and trust, or you want to share your tuition with, you'll be able to do that, and they'll be able to take different classes and whatever class they take. So let's say we're tuition partners and you take a class on Facebook, I take a class on SEO, for example, then let's say it's a day class, it'll be like 6 credit hours out of your 120 hour bucket. So it'd be 6 hours from you, 6 hours from me. Now we've just consumed 12 hours of our 120 hours. Let's say the next college though, I want to go take your Facebook class that you took and you want to take my SEO, it won't charge us more hours. Does that make sense? So you don't get double charged or whatever, it's just the one time you take that class. Yeah, so it allows you to kind of maximize the education a little bit too.
I'm gonna get back to my office. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
See you soon.
There's going to be a lot of us coming on planes again in December. Or November. When we come in December for the courses, are you going to be able to get room blocks in close hotels for us again and things like that?
Yeah,
Will that
most
be-
people you'll want to stay at our property. So let's say we do the JW again, then we'll have a killer room block there, and you'd want to stay there. I mean, you could stay at other hotels, and we'll probably do that too, depending on demand. So, and that's all
Is
part of
JW
what's
still the
jam.
closest hotel to to the location of the actual.
Well, I'm saying we could do the first set of classes. JW has the ability to do 17 classes simultaneously, like 3,500
So you're gonna do
students.
them there, maybe.
So we could do, yeah, we could do, I'm saying that as an example. Let's say we do it back at the JW Marriott. We could do like 17 classes there over 3,500 students at that college. Well, we'd have a room block there, just like we did for this event, a killer room block, so you could be able to just stay there, be on site. But if you wanted to stay somewhere else or another nearby hotel or something, you could do that too. And that's what they did, Pat, before they would say, oh, let's say, we're gonna have this many students, there's no way, let's say that one hotel could accommodate all of them. So we'll go and get room blocks and we'll negotiate room blocks at the closest nearby hotels around it as well. Yeah, that's part of what Pat does in this team.
I have two questions. The other one is that 2-year period, does that apply only to attending the live events? Or also
Yeah, the
accessing
live college.
So can you access recordings if you get to the master's level? Can you access recordings even after that 2-year period?
That's a good question. That's maybe a Chris question. I don't know if we've
Can you answer
confirmed that one with access to like say the classes online post the 2 years of the master's tuition. Like, does that go away? Can we still access that? I don't know if we've.
It's available for the term. The
For the
education
term,
is
right?
available for
Yeah.
the term of the time, which is a 2-year time frame.
Yeah.
On that.
And the other one is that if you say you choose to study SEO, can you also access other classes recordings during that 2-year period?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have access to all the live recordings and all that.
Online, you have for our online learning, right, what we call our distance learning program, you have access to all of the classes. For our in-person education, you have access to 120 hours of in-class time. So you'll have to choose, okay, I want to put 6 hours here, 6 hours there, 3 hours there, 6 hours there. You have to choose it. But if your partner takes something, your tuition partner takes SEO and I take e-commerce, I can repeat his class without using up any more of those 120 hours. So a good way to do it is divide and conquer. Peter goes one path, I go another path as partners, and then we can repeat each other's stuff without eating more of our units.
Yeah.
We'll have plenty more education on how the tuitions will work and everything as we get going.
Yeah.
But on a basic level, you'll have access to what we believe to be the world's best internet marketing education.
There's, how y'all mentioned real estate and insurance, be able to market to those people. What would be the best course of action to market to them?
Well, it's going to be coming up with like a custom front end offer, right? So it's like tailoring. Let's even say the stuff that Chris did this weekend on Friday on Facebook. If you have free courses, hey, teach you how to get more buyer and seller leads, leveraging Facebook advertising. Here's this course. Create a free account to access this course from Chris Frederick.
Okay.
Or you could create something on your own, or you could work with your groups and stuff like that to be able to basically, how do you tailor? It's called bridge marketing. On a high level, it's bridge marketing. So take a group of people. What are they interested in? What do they need? What do they want? And then how can you bridge what you ultimately want to sell them, right? How can you create something to kind of hook them, give them value up front, right? And then once you have them on your list and be able to communicate with them, deliver value to them, and then introduce them to what you have to sell them and how what you have to sell them can help them, right? So how can this community, let's say the tech product, how can you bridge from that? So we have real estate agents, maybe it's a course, Facebook advertising course. Maybe it's just something of value, teaching them, okay, what's a creative way to get more buyer and seller leads, for their business. And then, hey, opt in here to get that. You opt in, you follow up, email them, then maybe get them all on a webinar and say, here's, and then you teach them some stuff. And then so here's what the community I partner up with, here's the leader in online marketing education to help you create traffic, capture leads, convert sales. Here's a community of online, of entrepreneurs all over the world that you can learn from, collaborate with, network with, get training, on a weekly basis to help you build your business. It's only $100 a month, So you bridge them over from that free front end offer and to build in the know you, like you, trust you factor, deliver value, and then you introduce the offer to them. Does that make sense? And there'll be different tools as released and different funnels and stuff like that, and different leaders will be developing that stuff as well. But on a basic level, you got to be able to bridge the offer from what they already want, and what they they need, and then give them, and then introduce that to them something obviously that you have to sell them, right? And then from there it goes into kind of coming into TECademics and our community and learning more about it, and then learning more about the live college studies, etc. Learning more about the Matching Millions affiliate program, and how they literally can get this education for free with just a few referrals. right? So that's powerful too, because then say, okay, this makes sense. I know other people. I know, let's say, other agents that could need to know this. I don't have time. I'm building my business, you know, so they can leverage this education, and essentially I can get it for free by making a few referrals. So you'll have like 3 groups of people. One group of people is just, I want to take the education, I have a business, or I want to do this I want to learn how to make money on Shopify, so I'm going to go to the school, learn how to do it. The second group of people is that plus, hey, I wouldn't mind referring a few people and getting this education for free, right? And the third group person is, I want to make a ton of money selling this to other people, and you know, I want to learn myself. I want to be a product of the product, but I want to make a lot of money doing this, right? Hopefully, I think most of us here all want to make a lot of money, right? But understand that in your marketing, there's 3. Either way, they're all going to be students. Did you catch that? Either way, they're going to buy a product and be a student. The question is, how much interest level do they have, let's say, on the affiliate program, right? And some of them might start off with just, I just want to be a student, or I just want to, you know, join this education, cool. And then down the line, they end up becoming a big promoter because they love it, they fall in love with the education, they get results, they get good experience. They're like, holy crap, I can make or they maybe start learning about the comp plan and understanding the leverage, and they start saying, holy crap, I can make a lot of money referring this to other people. I have a network, or I have this list, you know?
Like a real estate broker, he can refer to his agents and have all of them buy it under him, and that broker is under you, and you get the commission.
Yeah. I mean, real estate is it's a classic example of network marketing.
Right. I mean,
there's one broker. He's got a lot of agents. He's getting an override on all those agents.
Just
right?
go to do a search on Facebook, real estate New York or real estate Chicago.
Yeah.
So many of them.
So if you can go to that broker and say, hey, I can help you. Like what I think it was Vic talked about yesterday with talking to the photographer. Said, hey, I'll just show up. I'll take pictures of you for free. You don't have to pay me anything. So you're leading with value. Now that person knows you, likes you, trusts you, delivered value. And what happens when someone delivers value to you? Like you want, well, how can I help you, right? So if you come to that real estate agent and you help them, let's say in this example, SEO, rank their website, or you help optimize their website, or you help do something for their business. Just hey, I'm gonna serve you. I would love to do business if this makes sense for you. I'd love to see I can either A, get referrals, or B, introduce them to your core service or your core opportunity, right? But you're coming with value.
We could also use that trick that Chris showed us the first day with the Facebook and YouTube and getting a whole bunch of views on your YouTube videos.
Yeah, viral videos, that's a great strategy. Making videos go viral.
1 million views maybe.
Peter, you got a 120-hour credit with the all-in, the elite.
Okay, that's cool.
What happens after you use that 120 hours? Do y'all have like a discount plan to get, say if you want to further it even more?
I'm sure we'll have something. We don't have something right now because essentially that's a year to 2 years out. But yeah, I'm sure we'll have a repeat path for our existing students to buy another tuition.
Okay.
Yeah, make it a good deal for them.
Multi-level marketing. I know Chris was going to touch bases on that, but I guess you ran out of time yesterday. How can you use this system for MLM?
Yeah, so let's say you have an MLM you're really excited and passionate about and you want to build, right? What do you need more? You need more traffic, leads, and sales. So we'll have a whole pathway, for instance, of the curriculum that is perfect for network marketers, which is a lot of social media marketing, online branding, Facebook advertising. So we'll have several classes of an overall curriculum that'll be perfect for them. We'll have tons of network marketers and tons of leaders of network marketing companies that are all joining and will all be at our college. That already they're fan members and that are joined literally so they can get the education. Yeah. And then we'll touch on that. That'll be a subject, for instance, let's say in a tech forum, that'll be a forum. There'll be a forum for sure for network marketing. Inside of the Impact, I'm not positive how much of that will be in the Impact course. I'm sure Chris will touch on that. But again, it's all the principles and fundamentals, right? It still comes back to creating traffic, capturing leads. How do you get a market of people? How do you capture them? How do you build value for them? And then how do you convert them to your opportunity? So for instance, Facebook ads, we'll teach on that. Well, you don't just lead with a company. That won't work. That'll probably get your ads shut down, right? So you gotta come up with this, like we talked about earlier, bridge marketing, right? To come up with something like, for instance, when Chris and I were affiliates for a network marketing company, right? And most of you guys, a lot of people didn't even know, maybe his blog had a blogging platform, right? So we came up with the cash in on your passion. So the bridge was, hey, how would you like to make money with something you're passionate about? You're passionate about the 49ers. You're passionate about watching the show The Walking Dead. We leveraged Facebook, built up fan pages, for instance, a strategy building up fan pages on Facebook with a little bit of advertising at first and then viral. Started getting viral content. You start building up these followers. Okay, so we did ads to fans of the San Francisco 49ers. Okay, and then they went to a page that says cash in your passion, how to make money. You know, if you're a fan of 49ers, register here for this webinar. They got on a webinar. They got well, actually not even a webinar at this point. This was literally just a sales video. We spent, I can't remember the exact dynamics, but I think it was about $50 per person that we signed up like 22 people in a single day, frontline to the company with that strategy, right? More than like anyone else even in that company in a single day, like over 20 reps that bought that platform. Because we knew our average lifetime value of our customer was worth several $100s, as high as even $1,000, but conservatively several $100s, because some of them bought a $100 product, some bought a $500 product, some bought a $1,000 product, right? So you can take that same concept and you could literally dominate any company, any network marketing company. You could get all those people in that front end offer and then get them all on a webinar. And then basically deliver value to that and say, here's the company I partnered with for those who want to make money, right? Here's a partner to come with, or maybe it's health and wellness. Here's the company I partner up, and here's these products or whatever. And then you create a bonus. If those of you on the webinar, if you buy right now and you buy this package, you're going to get this bonus, right? And so that model, which we'll definitely teach in depth in college, some of the classes.
You said, I've heard that there's going to be a discussion forum as part of the tech club, right?
Yeah.
So is it more like people asking questions and then experts answering, or are you going to incentivize like members of the community to somehow participate in those discussions as well?
Both. And there'll be a whole, to everything we do, there'll be the element of gamification and leveling up. So for instance, if you're contributing in the tech forum, there'll be like gamification, will be leveling up, there'll be badges, there'll be different kind of low reward systems and things like that. So everything we want to do, we want to gamify, like that's Chris's entire brand, it's like gamify life. And so we're going to incorporate those elements into even our compensation plan, into the game boards of the compensation plan, from the display to the tech forum, having little badges and your icon and your profile that this person's a, I honestly don't have the name right now, but it would be like, this the tech, they're just like, they're the tech rock star because they did all these comments and they did all these things. So our chief technology officer is building the platform for that, right? And building the elements, and then our designer will help to create, designs and badges and kind of gamify the process, if that makes sense. So yeah, our faculty will be able to come in there, and any of our students, will be able to come in there. Any of our people will be able to come in there and both respond to questions, ask questions, etc.
So just quick, with the second year, someone might have asked this already. The second year, you can repeat only the same subjects you took in the first year, or you can...
Correct. So you have the 1 year to take all those classes. Talked about online, you'll be able to watch them all. But then any ones you take in person the first year, you'll be able to repeat those the second year. You could repeat them the first year too.
Yeah.
But
okay. But online we can access every single.
Yeah. So as we continue to add more and more classes,
this is like more than 120. It's like
correct.
1,000 hours.
It's really 120 for the live.
It's phenomenal.
Live
so you get
classes.
access to the ultimate digital library.
And to be honest, we had a choice to make, because in the old company they first started, it was the same if they went in person or if they accessed online, they got charged for those credit hours. Chris decided, hey, let's just give it, because we're international. That was only US, so it kind of made sense because we wanted people to be at the live college. And if they lived in Florida, they could get to Arizona or whatever. But we realized if you're in Australia, it's sometimes harder. You might go to the college a couple times, but you might not be going every quarter.
Sure.
So we wanted to be able to have people to be able to access all those classes at the college without being charged their credit hours. We understand the real high impact values being there live in person. So, hey, we still have the 120 credit hours for that, but all the classes that we produce will be online.
But if your tuition partner goes to one set of 120 classes, and then next year you can repeat that. So basically you can go to
240.
Yeah, you can get 240 hours provided that your tuition partner took another set of.
You still have the same 120 hours, right? If we're partners, I take a class 6 hours, you take a class 6 hours. Okay, we've just used 12 hours.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so we have one bucket of 120 hours to consume from over that year, but then
between two people.
Yes, between two people.
Not 120 hours, 120 hours.
Correct. One bucket of 120 hours to consume for the live classes.
For 1 year.
For 1 year, and then all that bucket that gets consumed can be repeated anytime for 2 years. So the simple way of saying is 1 year to redeem, 2 years to redeem and repeat. So it's like 1 year to redeem those classes, you have 2 years to take and repeat those classes. Good for you and a partner. And any classes, all those classes that then get delivered online in our distance learning are accessed 24/7, and they don't cost anything additional. They don't consume for your 120 credit hours.
Okay, so if the business partner and yourself went to a 1 week event, we could only really do 15 hours each, really. Or we could do 30 hours each, and then we'll take up 60 hours.
Correct.
And
If
then
we
we
did totally different classes, exactly.
If we did the same classes, we could sit in on the same class.
Correct. And it only charges for one.
Okay, got it.
There you
Now I
go.
get it. That's clear.
I got a
Thank you.
question.
Yeah.
Different classes for each session?
What's that?
Will there be different classes for each session in college?
Yeah, well, there'll be similar classes, right? And then there'll be different classes because we're constantly adding new classes, and then we're also updating classes, right? So a class 1 today versus 6 months from now could be a little different because technology changes. Facebook changed the thing. SEO, Google just made a major update. Well, that we're going to have to update that entire class, and that's the cool thing about what we do, which is why we can't do traditional federal class type funding stuff. It would never work because we couldn't do that with the red tape of traditional government and stuff like
If
that.
you have elite, okay, I know your membership is unlimited. Okay, you have not unlimited. Do you have like a time frame? If you're elite, you know when you're when you're PAM.
So elite, you own Tech, Impact, and Masters, the core product lines. Okay.
Right. I mean, there's a limited time, or a couple of years, 2 years, and then you start all over again, or you're a member for life.
Well, you're a member, but your education is for the window of that time. So Tech is a monthly program, right? As elite, you get it right now as a family. You got it free for the first year. So when we roll out Tech, you'll have 12 months of that for free, and then after that, it's $100 a month or $1,000 for the year. Okay. And if you're making money promoting, then you just basically need a handful of people paying that every month, and yours is free. And then Impact is digital. So Impact is more something you have access to, and then for kind of just you'll have it. If you're a member, you're active, you'll have that because it's a digital course. And Chris will probably continue to add to it as well. We're going to roll it out, and he'll probably add to it as well. And then that course, that model, that $2,000 program is something that we can continue to add value to. So we might have an Impact Internet Marketing Principles course training, and then we can add whole sections to that, so we can constantly add value to that $2,000 product.
So
Does that make sense?
Lifetime access to that, right?
Yeah,
I don't want to say lifetime because in general marketing you never want to say lifetime. We learned that the hard way a while back from PayPal. Never do lifetime. If you ever sell your own products, never say lifetime access. Not good. But it's digital in the sense it's not limited to the factor of it's 1 year or something like that. It's because it's more of a course, right? Master's tuition is 2 years. 1 year to redeem, 2 years you have second year to repeat those classes that you're redeeming the first year, and 2 years of their online access to all the classes. So whatever classes we have, we might have eventually 200 quote unquote credit hours, 200 hours worth of class in that video distance learning. You get access to all that. You get access to use the 120, but whatever above and beyond that. So we basically just stack the value even more.
So I know technology keeps changing everything, how to process this and that. So 2 years from now, do you have new social media, this and that? So
we'd have classes on that.
Right, to rejoin again to get that class, since you already joined already and you're
Yeah, I mean,
2
down the
years,
line
it'll be
we'll have
cheaper?
other tuitions, packages, and we'll probably have a repurchase for students, and I'm sure we'll make it a same or better deal for people repurchasing.
What will be, I mean, if you can in a short way to tell us the difference, the content between the Impact and the Elite or
Masters.
the Masters.
Yeah, I mean it's
just in general. I mean, probably so much to.
It's the difference between what do you learn in, let's use an analogy, what do you learn in say junior high and high school versus what do you learn in your master's program post secondary education, right? I mean, it's going to be a much more higher level, more advanced, and the biggest thing with college is the live instruction. It is the number one way that you need to learn to master anything is immersion. Tony Robbins talks about this. You need three things: immersion, frequency, and then ongoing support. Ongoing, so you have frequency and then kind of ongoing coaching support. So the biggest number one is immersion. When you're immersed in something, if you want to learn a language, what's the best way to learn a language? Go move to the country where you're forced to learn that language and speak that language, right? So the college is like immersion because you're surrounding yourself with all these thousands of people from all over the world. You're in class, in a class, all day, for several days at a time, learning step by step, hands-on instructions for that particular whatever pathway you're going down, right? So even if we teach some of that information, we'll teach some of that information in Impact and a little bit in Impact and in some of the say weekly trainings from TAC. There's nothing that's going to 10x, 100x when you're at the live college.
Will Chris teach any of the curriculum in the Masters, like this introductory or something?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, okay.
As far as the actual live classes,
yeah.
college classes, no.
Just Chris's baby's impact. That's all him.
That's Chris is all impact. Yep. Yeah.
How are you going to differentiate between the people who have like maybe 30 years of tech experience, who've gone through Impact, who've gone through all of the training in the Entrepreneurs Club, and then when they go to Masters, obviously they start here, and there's going to be people who just joined the college, want to learn the basics.
So they'll be able to essentially what's called test out. So they'll instead of, let's say, a lot of people are taking a 100 level class, they may be taking 300 and 400 level classes. Does that make sense? So they'll be able to choose their curriculum and their pathway.
Okay, so you can start already at an advanced level when you go
Correct.
to the master's program. You
Correct.
don't have to go through the kind of the basic.
Yeah, we'll have an
setup.
ability in a sense for someone like that as before the live college, they'll be able to take a simple little test for sense and say they're basically proving I already know this basic stuff. I wanted to go take these classes. I want to take the advanced skill classes and the technical classes that build a business with that particular level.
So at the same time, like during each of the college weeks, you will have like advanced classes.
100 level, 200 level, 300 level, 400 level for the exactly.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I got a question. Okay, since everything is going to be live showing, I'm talking about. We're all different countries, different time zone. What time do you start?
Well, it'll be based on here in the U.S., right?
Yes.
So it'll be based here. Most of the classes I want to say are going to be like a 9 to 5 kind of a thing,
9 to 5 regular.
and then we'll have some half-day classes too. So we might have a morning class, we might have night classes as well. So someone theoretically could start at 9 a.m., go 9 to 5, and then from 6 to 10 take a night class, and they could take 9 hours in that example.
That'd be good. Okay,
But the average day would be like a 9 to 5. So you would go like 90 minutes, 15-minute break, 90 minutes lunch, 90 minutes, 15-minute break, 90 minutes, you're done. So you'd be that 6 credit hours of that, that day, of that 8-hour day, you'd have that class, and that class in that 8-hour day and that 6 hours of content is, the equivalent of maybe a couple dozens of hours of courses and stuff online. So it's very much concentrated, compact. The instructor has a timeline, literally like minute by chunk by minute, 5 minutes, 10-minute chunks, 15-minute chunks of their course syllabus that they need to teach, and they need to teach in a specific sequence based on the curriculum development from the designers.
The reason I say that is a lot of people at work and they can't really take a break. If they take a break at work, what?
When they come to live college, you would take a break from work. That's the
Right,
thing.
only 30 minutes.
For 1 week, I mean, it's a session of the, right?
It would be for like a week. It's our first college Monday through Friday. So people can come for the 5 days. Some people, if they want to take a couple days at a time, some people will come just for 2 or 3 days. Okay? So it's up to them. And then again, they'll have access to for distance learning online. And those classes will be available just 24/7. So we'll start with those recordings. We'll have access to all of them. Yeah.
Night shift will be great too.
The entrepreneurship, you have the next level is entrepreneurship and financial literacy. So
Right.
when do you think any rough time frame when the entrepreneurship?
The entrepreneurship piece will start pretty soon in the sense of part of that is like business financial management class, tax strategies, legal strategies, things like that that are important to any business. Those will come, right? Those will come pretty quickly.
So that's a different set of pricing and.
Well, no, it'll just be part of the curriculum.
Oh, it's gonna be part of the curriculum.
Yeah.
It's not a new
So
product you're
we'll
gonna be
add
marketing.
classes, and then that's where it expands our market. So as we expand more entrepreneurial classes, maybe eventually have a class on writing a business plan. Another class, we have a class on how do you raise capital or whatever, as an example, right? That'll be part of our curriculum, and they'll buy a tuition. They'll just say, well, you know what? I don't really need this classes. I'll take these classes. I'll take a little bit of this advertising stuff. I'll take some of this over here. But the idea is we have the tuition. Now, over time, kind of tuition prices change, things like that. Yeah, I think our tuition price right now, personally, I think is very low. I think eventually it should be higher, but we're also starting, right? When we have 40 classes instead of 20, does our value theoretically just double? If our price increased maybe a little bit more, will that make sense financially as a model? So, but yeah, we'll add those classes, and then it'll just be the individual student of that master's tuition can take any classes they want.
Okay, I always thought it was like a separate program, separate pricing. Incorporate, fantastic, and financial literacy as well down the track.
Yeah.
Wow.
In regards to having international campuses, because you mentioned eventually, you're planning on having campuses internationally as well.
Yeah, I mean, as demand grows and it makes financial sense to be there, we would love to have these centers all over in major markets.
And that would be based on volume. For example, you would open one in London because
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
more students.
Exactly.
in London.
Yeah.
Are you planning to have the content translated into different languages or subtitles or something?
Definitely, yeah. That's
What was the question?
What was the question?
eventually to translate have the videos be translated into other. Yeah, for sure.
So international class will be speaking in English and translated in the live too, in maybe Korea, for example.
Yeah, I mean the possibilities are endless, right? So it really just comes down to demand, sales, all you guys crushing it in the field and saying, you know, and you know, finding someone, let's say that's a big leader, has a huge audience of thousands of people from one particular country, and all of a sudden they're wanting to buy and join. All of a sudden it's just like, holy shit, excuse my French. We need to translate in Mandarin, we need to translate in Spanish, we need to translate in Portuguese, because we literally just did millions of dollars in revenue to all these people that maybe speak English, but they would more so as their first language speak this other language, right? So, but I can tell you from a video player, and it's a lot easier, not easier, but it's way easier than it was a decade ago when it comes to subtitling or voiceovering on education. There's other companies that have already done that, and video players that have that. You select a language, and then it's the same person speaking, that English person speaking, doing their thing, but it's just voiced over. So yeah, we'll sooner rather than later, you know, that'll be an objective for sure for next year to start translating. You know, again, based on demand, right? Supply and demand, like any business. So we'll start here and grow from there. Cool.
How will Chris's products be involved in this at all, or will this be kept like Smart Member and Dark Post Profits? Will they be involved in this, or be?
No, I mean we're moving away from that model. Our fan members up until pre-launch got access to all those products as a bonus. But post we'll be moving into this, and if Chris develops new stuff, we'll develop new stuff, and it'll be incorporated into TECademics. Stuff like Smart Member is a great third-party tool and service to use. You know, down the line we somehow find a way to, that's a whole nother company, another partner, everything, right? So if that somehow eventually gets incorporated, I mean, it'd be awesome. I think it'd be freaking awesome, but you know,
One of the big
that's a whole nother deal.
Software changes in this industry are one of the things that I find confusing, because every week there's a new product that I have to have, even though I don't know how to use it, but I've got to own it because Chris said to have it, or whatever.
Well, I can tell you, Smart Member, for instance, is phenomenal.
Says buy something, I buy it.
Yeah, Smart Member is phenomenal, and it's just getting bigger and better, and almost in some respects, from a marketing perspective, too good, because it does so much. So sometimes you can get confused, right? But I can tell you something like that, for instance. You know, Chris is a partner in that company, John. I mean, he's whipping out developments on that thing with Smart Member and inside his bridge pages and messaging and email and a lot of stuff. So if we, and we're gonna wrap this up because I just realized it's like 1:30. But yeah, so as we incorporate things or have at the college, for instance, there might be opportunities to where we'll have vetted third-party vendors that'll be there at the college to be able to showcase their software or something. And then maybe we'll do a free class that doesn't cost any credit hours, and that's their opportunity to basically educate you on their software, for instance. So it's a win-win because, hey, they have the opportunity to get exposure, right? And it's win for the student because they can learn, they can take a free class if they want, and it'll be vetted, and so it'll be only, you know, certain people, for instance, that we feel will be a good source. Maybe, you know, something like ClickFunnels is good. You know,
I was thinking about that.
So
you know, but it's a good product.
The digital bonuses, the library, is valid until August 15th midnight if people join the FAM.
Those technically already ended.
That ended, but the FAM, you know, not having to give up to.
Yeah, that's
still valid until the
15th.
Midnight 15th.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Cool. Exciting? Good stuff?
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm gonna grab